Hola mi gente, so let's finish this lesson. The square root of a over b equals the same thing as the square root of a over the square root of b, where b cannot equal 0 because that means that our denominator would be 0, which is undefined. So that's why b cannot equal 0. So I gave you guys this example, which I actually do want to work out with you guys and show you how to simplify this. So this means the same thing as the square root of 2 over the square root of 3. So the rule is every time you have a square root in the denominator, we must get rid of it. The only way we can get rid of it is by multiplying it to itself, to the denominator and the numerator, to keep this fraction balanced. So now we can say, is there a perfect square to the square root of 2? No, because there's no number times itself that will give us 2. Then does 3 have a perfect square? Is there a number times itself that can give us 3? And no, that is not the case. And since this means the same thing as multiplying themselves together inside one square root, we can actually just do that. So this would be the square root of 2 times 3 is just the square root of 6. And now what happens here? We end up here with the square root of 9. But don't we have an answer for the square root of 9? We saw it in the previous video. And that is 3, because 3 times 3 is 9. So this would be simplified as the square root of 6 over 3, which is what we want. We want the radical sign to be off in the denominator. So our answer is the square root of 6 over 3. Let's look at example number 2. Example number 2, we know that we can break this up to the square root of 2 over the square root of 4, right? And we know that we shouldn't have radical in the bottom. So there's two ways we can actually do this. If you didn't see right away that this is a perfect square, then you would just have to multiply the square root to itself to the top and the bottom of the fraction, which means square root of 2, there's no square root of 2, right? Because nothing times itself will give us 2, but square root of 4 is 2. So this would actually become 2 square root of 2, and we know that this would be the square root of 16, which this is really what? 4, right? Because 4 times 4 gives us 16. So our answer would actually be 2 square root of 2 over 4. Now the only reason why this is not your final answer is because 2/4 can be reduced to 1/2, right? So our answer would actually be 1 square root of 2 over 2, which even that can be simplified because this 1 can be invisible. So our answer would be the square root of 2 over 2. No more radical sign on the bottom. And actually, we could have simplified this from the beginning because the square root of 4 has a perfect square, right? So after this step, we actually could have gone this way. This stays the same. The square root of 4 is 2 times 2. So we could have gotten the answer. We would have noticed that we can simplify from the beginning, square root of 2 over 2, which ends up being over here after we reduce that fraction. Why your girl Lala saying, this is not that easy, but that's why kids, you must do your homework, you must practice, and you must listen to instructions. And when you're not sure or you miss something, you must look back at your notes, at your book, whatever is given to you, so you can figure this out, because you becoming an explorer is more important to learning than people just telling you what to do and how to do it. Your girl Lala saying, arriba la vida, subscribe. Hi everyone, I'm Miss Lala, your future math teacher. You need math tutoring services, either for yourself, son, daughter, somebody? Hit me up, I got you.